All right, y'all, Anastasia Patterson here, and I grew up on Santee Cooper in the swamp. Way up in the Sparkleberry Swamp, one of my favorite things to throw is a frog. So there's lots of different frogs that you could choose from, but for me, you just keep it super simple. There's only 3 colors I really reach for. So this here, it's gonna be like a fire tiger, a black, and a white. Really are the only colors that you need. And that's really gonna be based on cloud cover, that sort of thing, and where you're fishing around. But for me, a poppin' frog is the frog that I use a lot because not only are you gonna be able to get it far, far back in there, but it's gonna pop a lot, obviously, because it's called a poppin' frog. But the action's just a little bit different than a regular frog, and whenever it's coming across the water, it's almost like tick, 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 and the fish are hearing that vibration a little bit differently under the water. And for me, I've seen myself catch more fish on a poppin' frog, but that could all be just related to different things that you do to it. So there are a few modifications that you can do to a frog to catch more fish. I normally cut back the tails a lot, and then I'll stick some BBs into the frog, give it a little bit of rattle. The poppin' frog also just displaces a lot more water. A regular frog, you can still do the walk the dog sort of action, but it's more so going to just mimic a frog. And there's obviously a place for both of them, but for me, I just prefer a poppin' frog. Now, the thing about a frog is you can get a frog back places where you can't get any other bait. You can skip it, you can just cast it out there, but it really makes a difference. And especially when you're trying to get those big bites, you want to be throwing a frog. It is one of the best topwaters to use, and it's pretty straightforward to use, unlike some other baits. And the one really important thing, or 2 really important things whenever you're throwing a frog, is to have a heavy rod. You're gonna need a rod that has a lot of backbone because the fish is working against your rod whenever you're setting the hook. And you're also gonna wanna throw it on heavy braid. I typically use 65 and up, but sometimes I'll go down a little bit just depending on what I'm fishing around. And you can use frog in lots of different covers. So if you're just fishing shade, you can use a frog. If you're fishing cypress, willow, hydrilla, lots of different structure. If you're getting up under docks, you can use a frog, and then really kind of all over the country. So great bait to use is a frog.